Hello and welcome to What's Up, Cock Rockers. You want to see a dead body with Ken and Will? Ka-chow!
Ka-chow! Okay, well, that was the intro for that. Yeah, so it turns out there's like an actual gallery where they actually have like a whole lot of the images that we found, which is pretty cool. But
You have to own a house to be able to put that much shit in the wall.
Oh,
no
yeah.
apartment will ever let you do that.
Oh yeah, but my personal favorite has to be the Mr. Bean. I love this
Oh, what
so
a bean.
much. I love this so much. Okay.
I do really appreciate when games don't do the shitty AAA route of like, oh, and you could also buy the soundtrack and the art asset pack for like $1.99, whereas here it's just like, you bought the game, you want to see it, here you go.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just nice. If you're forcing us to collect stuff in game, and I mean, they're not forcing us to collect anything, but you know, when they're forcing us to do that, it's just nice. So previously on Jenny LeClue Detectivu, someone died. And it was not this man, nor was he the murderer. He was merely the author.
This is all wrong. Murder
And the jam
in
is,
Arthurton?
in fact, a callback.
Yeah. To the jam that Jenny had on her.
This is not
when
an
her
appropriate
mom-
story for Jenny LeClue.
Her mom was
I-
teaching a class and
Poor Dean
extorting child
Stroudsbury.
labor, I guess?
I gotta be honest, after like the whole last stream, I was ragging on this game a lot, but it's one of those things where I didn't know
What was
the
I
scale,
thinking?
scope, or length of this game, and the way it wrapped up, it was just like, wait a minute,
I've gone too far.
that's well crafted.
Yeah.
Was I genuinely supposed to be feeling impatient? Am I vibing with the character?
It's almost as if
I
we're
should take a break.
getting into the vibes of this small town where nothing
Come on,
happens
Rufus.
and nothing
Let's
ever
go for a
changes.
walk.
And like I
Clear
like
our heads and work off
writing,
some of
I
this
like
jam.
putting together tabletop and doing the blood wine stuff. I like playing video games, watching TV, and like checking out all the really pretentious YouTube bullshit. To be honest, if I ever go back to school, I'm probably going to take as many film-related courses as possible, because
Right.
like, fuck it, movies are cool.
Movies are cool. I have
And it's like, it's so rare that someone pulls shit on me. This actually pulled it on me. God damn. Like, a hat. It tips. It tips. My hat.
yeah. It is kind of funny. The majority of like textbooks and things that I still keep in my apartment are all film related, and I didn't keep I took one film course in university, and I'm so upset that I didn't take more. I should have taken way more like media courses.
Yeah, we were making fun of it the whole time, and then finally it's 2020, and it's like, wait, what do you mean media's relevant? What do you mean media is one of the leading industries? What do you mean YouTubers and Twitch streamers are all over the place, and that sort of information would have been really useful about now?
We spilled the ink.
So you don't use typewriters, folks. You
Yeah,
can do it for the aesthetic, but if you're going to do that, make sure you got a scanner.
there was one movie that had a person like using a typewriter by the beach or like by a lakeside or something like that, and they had just a stack of papers on the table next to him, and there was someone I was watching who was reviewing that who was just like, that script is gone. It is so incredibly gone.
Also, like, I feel like there's a lot of people who, like, portray typewriters without realizing the reality of what it's actually like using a typewriter.
Mm-hmm.
I've used a typewriter a couple times, and, like, there's weird things that, like, it's really interesting almost, like, from a historical level, like, trying to use a typewriter after getting used to keyboards, because there's things that seem like nonsense, like backspaces and enter keys and, like, shifts and stuff like that. But when you use a keyboard, it's like, oh wait, this like engages and disengages something. And then you notice, like with, for example, like the QWERTY, that's specifically designed so that vowels don't lock together, because they tend to in a lot of languages, like jam together.
Mm-hmm.
But also some languages will like reset where they actually are. But like, if you make a misspelling, you have to like character back and then like character forward and like cover it up and replace it, like they don't come out looking nice. They come out with like E's with A's on them and like accidental missed lines and like, you know, like jammed together kind of smudges. Pages out of a typewriter do not look nice.
Did you disturb the crime scene?
We did steal her ID badge.
Tell the truth. They'll catch you.
Do we tell the truth? Because we did take it. Do you want to tell the truth?
The thing is, I don't think we can get away with lying, but I also don't know why we're lying.
He could have been injured. I was just trying to help. I want to speak to my mom.
It's also like, there's a lot of reasons to be like.
Okay, so we got some psychological stuff to start the stream off with. And now we're hiding under a table.
Okay. We got some shepherd tones. We got some anxiety.
Yeah.
We got some interrogation.
And now we're just walking into the mist.
Ah, yes. Let's go find a tentacle friend.
The fog in our mind. Just
Mm-hmm.
like, what happens if we walk backwards? Is there anything? Or do we just keep walking?
I don't know, I was kind of...
Oh, there we go.
Oh!
Mom!
Is there gonna be an obstacle? Are you gonna get tackled?
Are you gonna drop away? Are you gonna wake up?
Michelangelo!
She's not having a good day right now.
Like, are we... Whose custody are we remanded into?
State?
Like, the only other person would have been Dean Deanington.
Dean Deddington, yeah. Also, what happened to son of Dean Deddington? Oh, there's son of Dean Deddington.
Keith! Please, look at me.
Funeral clothes.
Yep.
Keith, wait!
Rip the always upbeat attitude of Keith. Look at how large he is in comparison to us. Now he has no one. It was no accident. I can't believe she's here. Murderer! Oh God. She wanted his job, but he was retiring! They were lovers? Okay, that one might have been a thing.
It's interesting that, like, the hypothetical in this game is, like, that this guy has written all these really samey, boring, like, almost Little House on the Prairie style mysteries, especially given the opener. It's like, find my glasses! Here's a shiny nickel!
Yeah.
And then this one suddenly, and he's like, oh, you want me to ratchet it up? I was gonna ratchet it up, and then my whole expectation was it was gonna be like, aha. A fisherman was found by the river. Did he fall? Or did he get pushed?
Nope!
But it's nothing personal. And then this one's suddenly just like, so your main character's life has been torn apart. You are now alone.
They're all pictures, torn up pictures. Is she trying to...
Mysteries.
Okay. Is there anything over here I can drag towards them? Oh, there is. She's trying to get her family back together because it's falling apart.
Ah. That smells like a metaphor.
Oh my God. have X's on their eyes. Oh, good.
Oh.
Okay.
Run angry mode.
Oh, I don't like that. I really don't like that.
Leggies.
Oh, not a fan of the leggies. Not a fan of the leggies.
They were doing a fun little scramble.
They were doing a fun little scramble. A wee bit of
What a
skitter.
horrible nightmare. Dean Stroudsbury was dead. My mom was in jail. Keith told me he never wanted to see me again. And worst of all, I was surrounded by an evil army of giant teddy bears.
Unfortunately, it was all true, including the teddy bears.
My eyes! There's something wrong with them. Everything's pink.
But her eyes were fine. It was the room that was pink. Pink cuddly toys,
God, that is a huge ass room.
pink furniture.
You know, I was talking
Clothes.
before about, like, getting called out, like, oh, I wonder where the plot is. There's the plot. Here, it's like, I wonder whose custody she's being remanded into, and it's the first question answered.
Yup, that is literally the first question answered.
Covered in pink hearts.
His name is Pelvis Cressley. And that's...
That I respect.
I respect that.
Everything a teenage girl could dream of.
It looks like a marshmallow exploded.
It was at this point Jenny remembered where she was.
I shouldn't be here. What happened? And what is that terrible music? I can't think straight with that racket playing. These aren't my
Stand
clothes.
triumphant on this bed.
And where's my journal?
That wasn't the only thing missing.
The Dean's ring. It was in my pocket.
You're the fan that I love. Okay. Interesting.
You're the fan that I love.
Ah yes, the eagerly awaited follow-up to the smash hit.
Pelvis Cressley and the Hip Thrusters.
Even though I'm a big star and you're just a fan, perhaps someday we could be together.
Oh my god. Okay, so it's obviously Elvis Presley, but I love how the song title and the album gives me like One Direction vibes, which is fantastic from an old man trying to interpret what's hip with the youth.
Who buys this crap?
Ah, yes. One Direction. They're like Elvis, right? How
Hushed
do you
whispers in the
use the
hallway?
TikTok?
I should
I want to
investigate
send a TikTok to my neighbor.
Why are TikToks not called clocks?
Well, they used to be called Musical.lys.
True. They used to be good too. When it was Vine.
TikTok's just gonna shut down and they're all gonna come to YouTube and then they're gonna make good ass
From the
content.
outside.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
Who would trap a child in this nightmarish hellscape?
Jenny peeped through the tiny keyhole. As her eyes
Is
adjusted
that
to the light,
police
she
officer?
recognized the substantial frame of Winston LeClue,
A
Atherton's
LeClue.
long-standing sheriff, and Jenny's.
Granddad!
Ah, we have a granddad. Ah, so he was the one that was yelling at
Jenny's
us.
relationship with her grandfather was contentious, to say the least. He was a stern and humorless man who placed honor, tradition, and the law above all else.
But what if there were tiny kittens involved?
Sometimes even family.
But what was he doing here?
And who is he talking to?
Florence and Richard Glatz were the wealthiest couple
Suspiciously
in town, and hugely
white
influential.
teeth.
Their company,
Okay.
Glatz Mining and Supply Corp, was the oldest in Atherton.
You ever see
While
someone
Richard
and you're
may have
just
been the
like,
head of the
I
business,
don't like the fact that you have that much
everyone
time and
knew
money
that
to spend on
Florence
your
wore
own
the pants.
appearance? Like, you walk by, and it's just like, all your clothes are new.
Charming and
They're
generous,
like
she
the
always
newest
had
thing
a
to come
smile
out.
on her face.
I want to say this season, but that's not how
Which is
things
why I
really
don't
work
trust
anymore.
her one bit.
Like, it's something that was bought like 2 days ago.
Being
Like,
careful not to make a
a
sound.
good
Jenny
$30
leaned
bucks
in
of
and
makeup
listened.
on, like a $300
Everything going on,
haircut,
I
and
don't
you're
have
just like,
time to watch her.
how
It's no
do
trouble
you
at all,
pay
really.
for this?
She can stay for as long as she
How do
wants.
you
The
not
girls are
wake
great
up and
friends.
go,
I only hope she feels better soon.
shit,
That was
and
quite
kind
a
of just
scene
get
when
to
you had the
work?
funeral.
She should have left the boy alone.
Really, Winston, this whole situation must be unbearably traumatic for the poor girl. Her mother in jail, and what she saw in the library. One shudders at the thought. And all this barely a year after what happened to Henry.
She'll be
I
fine.
don't trust anyone who says one.
Yeah, but so far
Just
she
keep an
actually
eye on her.
seems
She can be a real
mildly
handful.
concerned for our health. Like, she's at least empathetic enough to understand
don't
what's going
worry,
on
I've
with us.
planned everything.
It is a plus.
Oh, I'm deeply concerned about that, though.
Pony rides, afternoon tea, and
Oh,
tomorrow
no.
we're going dress shopping.
Oh, no.
Oh, that reminds me. I have something for you.
Dress shopping. First they locked me up, now they want to torture me? I need to get out of here. Fast.
But her curiosity was piqued. She had to know what Mrs. Glatz had gone to fetch, and so she waited. The duty of sheriff had been Winston's birthright,
Oh, good.
passed from father to son for generations.
Oh, good.
Small town
Of
style,
course,
where
that
it's
tradition would
definitely
now end
not
with him.
just inherited. It's
Yeah.
just that, like, you know,
But he preferred
your
not to
kid
think
does it,
about
no
that.
one else does it. And also, like, your kid takes your job when you retire. I don't know.
Nathaniel Glatz stared disapprovingly back at Jenny.
If he had a
The old
face.
man.
Actually, this was the man who saved Arthurton. When the quartz mines began to run dry, it was his research into the unique properties of the crystals that secured the future prosperity of the town and the company.
I don't follow that.
Because the crystals in this town had unique properties, and now the
I-
mine
The Lady
sort of like
discovered
restarted.
the first quartz seam lining the Great Mountains.
So is the implication that he found
Little did he know
technology to
the
better
impact it would have on the
extract
future of
them?
the town.
No, he found the fact that they refract light and do some
Little
other
did he know
weird
the Glass
bullshit.
family would muscle in and take over the whole
That
operation.
wouldn't solve the fact that the mines went dry.
Well, it's a different material that he's mining, essentially.
Nowadays, it was hard to go anywhere
I
in
think.
town
I
without
don't know.
seeing something made from it.
Huh?
I'm
Where
raising
did he
an
go?
Eyeball? There it is. Hello.
Winston, what are you doing down there?
Thought I heard something.
Really? A man of your age spying on teenage girls? I've told you already. She won't be going anywhere.
Oh, that's concerning.
It was probably just Jenny's imagination, but those words felt oddly.
Sinister.
Here.
Why does Mrs. Glatz have official police documents?
I feel like there's a point where it's
Satisfied.
like, hey Jenny, you know you were part of a crime, right? You remember that?
Yeah, you remember that whole
That was
thing?
Julie.
She's in the safest place, behind bars.
Surely they don't believe she's guilty.
I don't envy you, Winston. It must be hard to stay impartial. If the poor dear would just confess, it would make things much easier.
Old man voice.
I'm concerned
I
about this
have
lady
everything
now.
under control.
Of course you do, dear. No one doubts your loyalty to Arthurton. We must continue to look out for each other, now more than ever.
Sheriff,
She is
are you
concerning.
receiving?
Go ahead.
She's very concerning.
It's the LeClue house, sir. We found something.
I'll be right there. Over.
It sounds like you've got important things to take care of.
Yes. Well, good night, Florence.
Good night, Winston.
Don't let her out of your sight. She is a LeClue, after all.
I'm sure we'll manage.
No, you won't.
I do like the weird
Jenny
duality
couldn't
where
believe
it's
what she'd
like,
just heard.
well,
Everyone thinks my mom's
seemingly
a murderer.
all the LeClues grow up to
Thankfully,
be like
her mother's
criminologists
fate
or
was in
police
safe
officers,
hands.
but like also
Fine
cannot be
people of
trusted.
The Arthurton
Yeah.
Police Department.
Oh, God. She's gonna rot in jail.
Jenny could leave the case to them and enjoy a fun week of pony rides and shopping sprees.
No.
No?
Mom always says a great detective leaves nothing to chance. I have to do something.
What made Arthur think for a moment
But she was just a kid.
that
What
she
could
would do
possibly
that?
do?
This is my chance.
All right,
Case
everybody,
of a
hop
lifetime.
on board. We're accepting
My
tickets
mom
for
needs
cars
me, and I
2,
won't
3,
let her
and
down.
8 aboard the Denial
Find my
train,
stuff and
going
get out of here.
non-stop to an inevitable
And
conclusion
just like that,
of
a great
mental
adventure
breakdown.
began.
Yep. Alright. Oh, no.
love you. I love you. You're my best friend. You scared the life out of me, pig.
I love when an inanimate object tells me that it loves me. It feels very sincere.
Yep. I'm just gonna...
The sun was setting behind the great mountains of Arthurton, cradling the town in a warm red embrace.
I slept the whole day away? I have to get out of
This
here
is
and make
supposed
up
to
for
be
lost time.
the Pacific Northwest, right?
I have no idea where Arthurton is set. I also just want a creepy pig again.
You're special. You're special.
Wait, can I do more of that? The creepy eyes. Like, I'm pretty sure I have my thumbnail right there.
I love you.
Ah. Okay, I'll leave it alone. We got...
All the dangly bits are swaying. Strange. It's not windy in here. There's a track in the ceiling panel around the chandelier. It looks like it can move.
Weird.
Best in show, horse ballet.
Why
First
do so
prize,
many
advanced
people
table
in
etiquette.
adventure games have, like,
There's one here
inordinately
for
large
best
houses
smile.
with elaborate
Seriously?
mechanisms built into them?
In
I've
fairness,
never-
this
A
this
heart-shaped
town is
mirror
or
for the
this
lady
family
who
is
loves
rich
herself.
enough to just have it for the shits.
Never encountered something like that. If I ever get loaded, I'm gonna, like, turn my house into one of them things.
Right?
Big and gothic looking.
Like, but that's the thing, right? Maybe these people are just the ones who want that. And the ones who achieved it. Because everyone basically says, like, who the fuck has these elaborate houses? You know, if I get that much money, I'm making an elaborate house like that. Here we go. Hard on.
Yeah.
Hard off.
There's something strange about this mirror. This requires further investigation. That's more fun than it should be.
It is more fun than it should be. But that's just because I'm like 12 years old.
It's on an outside-facing wall, so I imagine it wouldn't be two-way. It might be something to do with, like, a mechanism.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, it's the things we forgot we did.
Yep. What should have been a touching farewell to a beloved member of the community was tarnished by a poorly timed act of protest yesterday at Mother of Mercy Church. An emotionally unstable
I don't
child
remember any of this.
Tag yourself.
I bet that kid's in
Yeah.
a lot of trouble.
was witnessed shouting at members of the congregation, causing damage to property, even desecrating the corpse. After a long chase, the girl collapsed and was carried from the premises. Hundreds gathered to pay their respect to the late Leslie Strasberry, the long-standing and beloved dean of Humboldt University, who was murdered in cold blood by a member of his own faculty. Oh, poor buddy. The community was devastated last Thursday when Mr. Strasberry was found dead in the school library after apparently being pushed from a third-story balcony. The murder was the first the town had seen in decades. Dean Strasberry is survived by his son, Keith Strasberry.
Pushed from the balcony? That's not what happened. And no mention of electrocution.
After an anonymous tip, Sheriff Winston LeClue arrived first on the scene and found a woman covered in the dean's blood. Evidence has linked her to the murder.
Mom wasn't covered in blood. That's a lie.
Although a motive for the killing has not been established, the woman has been identified as Jenny LeClue, professor of criminology and daughter-in-law to Sheriff Winston LeClue. She remains in custody.
Jenny thought of her poor mother, locked away in a jail cell for a crime she didn't commit.
Don't worry, Mom. I'll prove you didn't do it as soon as I get out of here. Either
Seems
this
spicy.
is shoddy reporting, or someone is trying to cover up what really happened. My mom's still in jail, so the police must not think this was an accident.
And if it wasn't an accident, then...
The real killer is still out there.
Interesting.
I've never seen so many clothes. Maybe mine are in here somewhere.
Too pink, too flashy, too delicate, too flowery, too expensive.
Well, my clothes definitely aren't here. They'd be easy to spot amongst all the sequins and ribbons.
Help, help, I'm being detained.
Like,
Ah, yes, the horse award.
everyone's favorite. I accidentally activated that. I was trying to run, but I don't think I can run here.
Keyhole, maybe?
What?
There might have been updates at the keyhole.
I don't have my detective gear to pick the lock. Besides, I can't just walk out in front of Mrs. Glatz.
Okay.
Well, the mirror is warranting inspection of some kind. When it's
Ouch.
off,
That's hot!
interesting. Interesting.
Nothing happened. I thought I was onto something.
Interesting.
Keep him busy, I guess.
Yeah, like I'm wondering what needs to happen with that then.
You wouldn't be able to,
I feel like I've seen that heart shape somewhere else in this room.
Okay, so there's actually a clue. Where's the heart shape? Find the heart
Where
shape.
is the clue?
I thought I like looked everywhere for a heart shape and I didn't see one. But maybe I'm wrong.
Record?
Ah. Gotcha. So we need the four corners, basically.
You're the fan that I love. Oh, you're the fan that I love.
So like this,
Four
this,
corners.
this.
Why not just hang the fixture centered over the mirror and not have to move it?
This family's disposable
they didn't want
income
to
is
hide it.
outrageous. I always knew they were hiding something. I bet there are all kinds of horrific secrets lurking up there.
Because then it wouldn't be a fancy contraption. Also, how did Mrs. Glatz not hear that?
Just like, must be a different elevator.
Yeah. Look at all the pulleys.
Oh, it's just a dusty old attic.
I thought my grandpa was the only bullies in here.
Dozens of old boxes covered in dust and cobwebs, filled with toys, school projects, and old trophies.
Attics, where dreams go to die.
Yikes.
Oof.
What over here? Oh!
Oh, hello, spooky bear.
That's
like
gonna
he's
haunt our
watching.
dreams.
He's large.
He is large and in charge.
Everything in here is covered in dust, except this bear. And there's light coming from behind him. What are you hiding, spooky bear?
Okay. There's evil-looking bear, but is there anything else over here?
Surely.
Say, a sticker, perhaps?
Oh.
I need that gallery art. It's very important. Just had to drop down to the other side.
No, I would recommend it anyways. Gotta be thorough.
Aha!
Or a
Way out of
LeClue.
here. Locked. But where is the lock?
Damn it. Alright, spooky bear. And Jenny LeClue is dead.
Smothered by a giant teddy
GTA
bear.
style, it's like wasted.
What an end that would have been. Just as I suspected. A hidden staircase.
Casually walking over the corpse of a giant teddy bear.
Real cash.
Where is it at? Yoink. Oh.
Jenny was no
So
stranger
we
to the
found
labs
a
at Gumball,
lab.
but she'd
Okay.
never seen anything quite like this.
Why did they feel inclined to change
Certainly
the
not inside someone's house.
like colors on the chemical indicators?
I don't know.
Hey! What are you doing up here?
Is that her escape plan?
Not again! Susie?
Oh, it was all to
Loved by
to
all,
disguise
kind
her
to a
magical
fault.
girl
Jenny's
transformation
cousin was
sequence.
also the most popular
Of course,
girl in
of course.
town.
Oh, hi, Jenny. You... You should be in bed resting. What are you doing up here?
I should ask you the same question.
Mysterious figure.
Laboratory. I feel like we've
Yeah.
put two and two together.
What is all this equipment? And why is there a secret elevator running from your room to the attic?
Oh, you must mean my collection of teddy bears.
Diplomacy.
I see. My apologies then. But tell me one thing, Susan. Why is that teddy bear wearing a welding helmet?
That's welding Teddy.
Well, there's a simple explanation for that. There are just too many to fit in my bedroom.
What? How does that explain why it has a welding helmet on?
See, I feel like, especially given their teddy bears, it would have been so reasonable to be like, why does he have a welding helmet on? And it's like, he's a welder? He's a welder bear.
Yeah. Like you go to Build-A-Bear, you can buy like clothes to dress it up.
Two tables over is the machinist bear.
My sister used to have a Scottish cow that played the bagpipes. Its name was Fernando. Don't ask why. I don't. Anyway, are we good cop or bad cop?
We are being hosted by someone after like our mom is being suspected of murder.
Susie.
Maybe
Fair
we
enough.
should tread
Clearly
lightly.
Something's weighing heavily on your mind. Take a deep breath and answer the question honestly. I promise you'll feel better.
It's not what you think.
I feel
This is
like
where I,
Jenny LeClue has a lot of audacity, but we do have to reserve it for the right
teddy
moment.
bears.
Yeah.
I have vintage bears, new bears, rare collectible bears.
Enough! Stop avoiding the question.
I mean, I kind of want to gain her trust.
Yeah, gaining trust makes sense. Also, like, I don't know why Jenny's not just like, yo, I come from a weird
You don't need to
detective
hide
family.
anything.
Yeah.
I get
You can be
this
honest
kind of
with me.
shit.
I can't. You wouldn't understand.
Try me.
Susie's secret was the kind you took to the grave. A shameful, dark secret.
Please let it be that she likes science and that's not a girly thing. And that's her shameful
A
secret.
secret so shocking she feared she would lose everything. Her friends would abandon her. Her family would disown her. She'd never find
She's like,
true
this was
love.
my Uncle Gerhardt's laboratory back in Berlin. You're like,
going to die
what?
alone.
What?
You can't tell anyone. You have to promise me.
I mean,
Fine, just stop
No
whimpering
one
like a lost
likes
puppy.
us. What are we gonna
Embarrass
do?
yeah. Keith, maybe? He doesn't like us
There's
anymore
nothing.
either.
This is my secret laboratory.
I make meth.
Where I design and test my inventions.
I mean,
Well, yeah,
Your
but like,
laboratory,
so
where
what?
you
What
invent
inventions?
Yes.
You, a cheerleading, horse riding, dress wearing debutante.
Yes.
I feel like you have that many
Susie,
adjectives.
but
It's
you know how
almost
crazy
like
that sounds.
naturally you would be like, oh, I presume you have other hobbies too.
That's
Yeah.
why you can't tell anyone. If people found out, I'd lose everything.
what, that you're also smart and creative and inventive? Oh, but
Could it be true?
heaven forbid a
Susie
debutante
Cass,
be
in fact,
inventive,
a
creative,
secret
and
nerd
genius.
Oh
Was
no.
she really leading a double
I'm a
life?
nerd. I can't believe. Like,
There's only one way to find
I
out.
feel like these plots
Susan
rely
Quincy
on
Glass?
tropes that
I'm gonna
haven't
have to ask
actually
you a
been the
few
case
questions.
since like 1992.
Yeah. Alright, we're in it. We're interrogating Susie. Nope. Nope.
Hell it.
Man, you can hide anything in your hair.
Pink bows, fluffy bears, stylish clothes. She can't possibly be a scientist. Do you really expect me to believe that you aren't obsessed with boy bands and the color pink? Brain or bimbo? Which one is it?
Why not both?
I am a scientist. But I also believe
Jenny
in the
LeClue
importance of
adjusts her
good
glasses,
skincare and the
goes,
power of
you
matching
see,
accessories.
there's an anime flash. I'm not like other girls.
Yeah, right?
Ridiculous.
Susie couldn't be pretty, popular, and smart.
Heaven forbid.
Was just greedy.
Heaven forbid
This is-
she be the whole package.
Is this slowly turning gay? Like, this feels like some like closeted denial mode. Like, I can't believe that you're like
Dean's wearing one
great
until he
and
died.
interesting and good looking. I don't like it. No.
Could Susie have played a part in the Dean's death? All of Jenny's instincts told her it wasn't possible, but she needed to know for sure.
I mean, probably tactful. Like, we're
I
dealing
don't
with
think
Susie.
that's working
here.
for us.
Wait, you don't think tactful is working for us?
It's just kind of leading us in circles.
You smell nice. What perfume is that?
Oh, thanks. It's called Innocent.
Okay.
I remember you were wearing it last Thursday at the lake.
I was.
What did you do that day, after you left?
Peggy and I took Veronica home. She was really upset.
And you were there all afternoon?
Yes. Why?
How close is Veronica's house to the library?
I don't understand. Why do you want to know all this?
I need to rule you out as a suspect.
Suspect? Why would I be a suspect?
You're certainly very good at keeping secrets.
I didn't do anything. Just ask Peggy or Veronica.
I don't know why you're friends with them. They are terrible character witnesses.
First Veronica, then Keith,
So when
and now
does
me.
Jenny get to talk to a
I
psychiatrist?
never thought I'd say
Fucking
this.
never,
Sometimes
apparently.
you can be a real...
I feel like maybe a social
Sure.
worker should come in and be like, "Hey,
She called this a
how's
jerk.
it
What were you saying
going?
about Keith?
I
You didn't
understand that
exactly
your
make
mom's
things
been
easier for him, did
arrested."
you? You don't remember, do you? Oh, well, I suppose it wasn't that bad.
Except that the entire paper wrote
What
about
do you
it.
mean?
Apparently the
After you
body was
interrupted
exposed.
the Reverend's eulogy, and after Keith asked you to stop, you tripped and knocked over the Dean's casket.
Look at the shock on her
Because they hadn't
face.
secured the lid properly. Because he rolled right out, to horrified gasps. As you collapsed
I
and
don't
fell
think this
into
is a
his
children's
grave.
game, Will.
And that's why everyone's so worried about
I don't
you.
know, if I was a kid, I would have thought this was hilarious.
Yeah, that's
It all
true.
came
It's not
flooding back.
showing it.
She had tried to defend her mum and repair her relationship with Keith.
Clearly
Instead,
not doing
she
the
had
best
ruined
idea ever.
everything. Jenny had lost her best friend.
You should talk to Keith. I'm sure he'll forgive you.
Sure. I mean, this seems like an acknowledge. You're having a conversation here.
We're getting a lot of eye
It's
wobbles.
not that simple.
Yeah,
He thinks my mom killed his dad.
She felt the distance between them grow
we
with
are
every
getting a
passing
whole lot
minute.
of eye wobbles, but that's probably because we're
How could she
fucking
face
sad
him
right
without
now and
answers?
pushing it down.
Mm-hmm.
I have to find the Dean's real killer.
Alright, what do we got here? Nothing on the cheek, nothing on the nose, nothing on the mouth. Sticker? No. Books.
Seeing textbooks strewn about the floor reminded Jenny of something.
My journal! I need to get my stuff back. Where are my clothes?
Oh, Gerald took them.
Who the hell is Gerald?
Our butler.
Of course you have a butler.
He's taken them to be cleaned and pressed. They'll be ready in a few days.
Well, I need them. Now.
I've got a dress that would be perfect for you. It's got purple bows, and the sequins will really bring out the color of your eyes.
I feel like this is where we be rude.
Maybe. Maybe boundaries.
I'd rather be burned to death. No one's gonna take me seriously in a purple ball gown. And where's my other stuff? Don't tell me Gerald's got my journal. It's irreplaceable.
Like I'd let that nosy old fool see your diary.
It's not a diary. It's my case notes.
Right, of course. A girl's gotta have a place to keep her secrets.
Yeah, you have
I
a
put all your
fucking
stuff in the
lab.
lockbox under my pillows.
Are you kidding me? No wonder my head hurts.
Jenny needed to recover her journal and the Dean's ring, but she wasn't quite finished with Susie.
Okay. No. No. I can't get over there. Traitor! Don't give me that icon and not let me grab it.
Maybe in a moment. Maybe it's building to it.
Yeah.
All this stuff looks authentic. But that doesn't mean it belongs to Susie. If this is really your lab, what does that thing do?
That's Tim. He's a thermal imaging
Would you not,
machine.
like,
He uses
be going to
reflective
school
thermographic
together and
projections
be in
to
the
infer
same
depth-related
classes?
topography and subsurface
I
bodies.
feel like after a while you would be like, oh yeah,
Come
you're
again?
good at science.
Maybe she keeps her grades like
He likes
remarkably
to say inside
average.
stuff.
Or, you know, not like slightly above average.
Well, what about that thing?
What, like deliberately?
That's Judy Kate, a
Yeah.
gamma ray induction polygraph.
Why?
Because she is so concerned about people worrying about her being smart. She is so concerned about it that she has a secret fucking lab above her room that not even her parents know about, apparently.
And that?
That she fills
There's
with
gotta be a
goddamn teddy
problem.
bears.
There's gotta be a
A drawing
problem
paper
if your
called
parents
telemetric
don't know
manipulator.
about this and you're getting enough funding to get all this stuff in
And
there.
this?
Yeah.
And, like, you don't feel comfortable informing them of the fact that you
That's a
enjoy
tea set.
smart thing. That's a bit of a red flag.
What? I like to drink tea.
How did you get all this stuff up here anyway? And without being seen?
You'd be surprised how much you can hide on a giant stuffed teddy bear.
I know what's going on here. You've stolen all this stuff. And you're planning to sell it all to buy more fluffy cushions or pink horses or something.
Why?
I didn't steal anything. Some of the parts are from my father's factory. The rest I bought with my allowance.
That's some allowance.
Well,
If
yeah,
you didn't
she's
steal
rich.
it, why are you worried about people finding out?
I'm head cheerleader. I'm captain of the equestrian team. If the other girls knew about this, they'd laugh me all the way to the back of the cafeteria.
Why do you care
For
what
some
they
reason.
It's not just them. If my parents found out about my lab, they'd kill me.
Why? Don't they want you to be a scientist?
I think they'd like me to marry a scientist. Dad says science is a man's job.
Yep, there we go. There's the reason.
Go.
There's the reason.
Girls are supposed to bake pies and become prom queen.
Ugh, everyone in Arthurton is stuck in the past.
If anyone else showed him the things I've created, he'd call them a genius and make them his lead scientist.
So tell him. Prove him wrong.
Hey Will, does your Discord have the background noise suppression on it? Does it have like the crisp?
Maybe. I'll double check that.
can't.
Why? How's it coming out? What kind of sound have I got?
Fan again.
You have to keep my secret. I'm
So
begging
on?
you, Jenny.
No, it's
No,
the
it's
same as what we had before, where you said there were no fans on or anything, but I could still hear it.
Poor Susie.
that- I'll
All
move
of her
my-
secrets laid bare.
I'll move my chair and my mic back. It's just my laptop.
Ah,
I mean, there's a
Jenny couldn't
point
help
where
but
I'm just gonna
feel-
make noise. I'm in a small apartment. My fridge
Yeah.
is like 3 meters away. Like,
yeah. That's why I was like, well, if you have that, then I don't know, maybe we test it.
Maybe there was more to Susie than she had first presumed. Jenny was confident that Susie wasn't involved in the Dean's murder. She wasn't evil.
Just insufferable. Alright, I'm gonna grab my stuff and get out of here.
Oh, while you're wandering around, can you find some parts for me? I need a battery and a transistor to finish this device.
wait,
What?
since
No.
when is she allowed to leave?
She's
I have
not,
something for
but
you.
Susie doesn't seem to
It
really
was
mind.
true. Susie had kept Jenny's journal
What the
safe.
fuck?
Something just fell.
Ah,
And the Dean's
All right,
ring.
Vamp. I gotta bend and pick a bunch of shit up.
yep, fair enough. I'm just gonna play the game.
She'd
That's all I
even
need to do.
revealed her darkest secret to Jenny.
Fine. Enough already. What's a
We
transistor?
don't trust Susie.
Oh, it's an electronic voltage regulator that...
Just tell me what it looks like.
It's a tiny metal object with an antenna and 3 legs. If you can't find one in my bedroom, there are some old boxes in the attic.
Yeah. Transistor and battery. Got it.
Go, Jenny!
I've gotta get out of here.
I love that she's just being poisoned by her optimism. Alright, I got that. Satisfied. And more stuff. Ooh. We now have a T sticker. Okay. Still cannot. Still keep doing that accidentally.
Who sells chemicals to a child?
Excellent question.
Like,
I
I was a
genuinely
kid.
don't know.
Genuinely, if I was a kid and someone gave me chemicals, I would have been like,
projects.
you know,
They had all been
13-year-old
submitted
brain.
by
Wow.
Anonymous, and they'd all won first prize.
I went to science class.
These awards should
YouTube
be hanging on
videos
the
of Coke and
walls
Mentos are
downstairs.
cool. I'm gonna blow
It was
something
sad
up.
to see all these marvelous
And I would have blown myself
accomplishments
up and
hidden
lost a
away in
bunch
the
of
attic.
fingers on my hand, you
Susie
know?
wanted so
Yeah.
badly to please her parents.
Don't sell
To live up to their
fucking
expectations
tanks full of
what a
chemicals to
Glad's girl,
children?
She never even told them she'd entered the science fairs.
At some point, we have to go, children's book.
Yeah.
A tiny metal object with an antenna and 3 legs. Looks like a transistor to me. Now, where can I find a battery?
Here we go. I think we have to go back into our room and get our stuff back.
Ooh, we gotta take the life out of that bear.
Out of what bear?
I love you.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Also, that was a pig. Very important
Right.
to differentiate.
Teddy pig, not a teddy bear. What a boy. What a fine boy.
I know what we're putting on our fucking book when we get back. When we get that book
Wait, does-
back, oh yeah.
Wasn't the book bugged? Does the book work now?
No, we don't have the book.
I'm sorry,
After.
Mr. Pig, but I need your batteries.
I love you. I love you.
This will only hurt for a second.
She is aggressively ripping out these batteries. Oh. You know, there's usually a pouch in the back. Oh, that's just sad.
Thank you, Pig, for donating your body to science. That's Susie's stuff taken care of. But
I
still
think
haven't
I
found my
understand
own.
why they bully Jenny
She said
LeClue,
it was under the pillow
and I
in her
think
bed.
it's because she sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. Genuinely. We're gonna go back and tell her about the fact that we ripped the head off of her pig. And she's just gonna be like, you know, there's an
Let's
opening
see.
in the background.
Stars,
right?
lips, hearts, and beakers. What would a girl like Susie use as a password?
That is an excellent question.
Beaker, beaker, beaker?
I guess, yeah, no one would think of it. No. No, there we go. Oh, no.
Oh.
Okay, this turns
Yikes.
everything, so we'll do that.
Other way around.
Of course it was the beakers. Clever. My stuff!
Jenny hid the ring in her pocket and flipped through the pages of her journal.
No obvious signs of tampering. At least Susie knows how to mind her own business. I'll give her the battery and transistor, and then I'll find a way out of this place.
Okay.
Okay, sticker time.
Oh, no, I can't do it to this page. That's our case file page.
Of course, of course.
How do I... There we go. Change tab. Decorate. Add. Where's Derp Dog? Derp Dog! Derp Dog needs to be everything.
The finest boy.
Alright.
I feel like we definitely need Coffee Lad.
We definitely need to get Coffee Lad.
And a sticker of a recently murdered man.
Hang on a sec. Hold on. I can't move around at all, and that makes me sad. Okay. No, wait. Let me just... I need to...
The dog cavalry rides again.
I need to change the order that these get put down. But I also can't select anything or delete, so I'm just gonna do that. And decorate. I literally can't select, I can only... Okay, we still have Doggo. Okay. Now, the order that these get placed down is very important for my image.
For your image.
I'm gonna put this down there.
Crafting something with deftness and precision, surely.
This goes here. And if I'm a genius, this will just work.
Hell yeah.
Yes! I am a god!
Beautiful. Beautiful. I feel like we gotta add stars.
Oh,
Really
dude.
show some, like, particle effects coming out the back. Some small boys.
This is the dumbest thing, but I love it.
Well, we gotta personalize.
There we go.
Magical. All right, now change page.
Oh,
I want to see if
right,
the
right.
bug still happens.
Nope.
Okay, perfect.
Looks like we're good.
Beautiful.
We cannot change this. This is staying forever. We can only add more greatness to it.
Yeah, it's only up from here.
Yeah.
Ship of Theseus. We are officially dog jousters from here on in.
Yeah. And step on the bear. Yo, Susie, we got the stuff.
Here you go.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you.
Now, back to the task at hand. Making my
Uh-huh.
escape.
I'm kind of expecting Susie to be like, oh, this isn't the right voltage battery or proper transistor.
Don't you want to know what these parts are for?
I needed
Only if you let me
the
get
20
out of here.
milliampere, not the 10.
Yeah.
Ah! Careful! That's a stick of dynamite! Dynamite?
Are you crazy? You could have blown me to bits.
I did say be careful.
What are you making bombs for?
They're not bombs. They're silent explosives.
Okay, so I see that me and Susie are on the same page.
Yeah. Yeah, we're in. We're in.
Silent explosives?
Okay, did
Think
you
about it.
have to
Dynamite
do
that
like
doesn't make a sound.
for like
Impossible,
career
you say?
class in high
Not
school?
at all. My first
There was an
breakthrough came when I
there were
discovered
like a
the
bunch of different,
properties
you know,
of-
like find out what your career should be
I
kind
can
of
use this
tests.
to blow my way out of here.
But one of them was like standardized, like it was an online one that came through the province of
The
Ontario.
explosion might be silent,
And I remember
but I think
doing
my
it
mom would notice if
and
part of the
getting
house was missing.
pyrotechnics. And I remember
Yeah, okay.
talking to Victoria about it.
Yeah.
Also got pyrotechnics.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, thanks for the show
Very.
and tell.
Victoria is
It's
very
time for me
big
to
on
go.
explosions and fire.
And how exactly are you going to leave without being seen?
Yeah, after running this campaign, it's like maybe
I'm
this
glad
was
you asked,
right. I
Susan.
just don't know who would have trusted me to go into that kind of field. Like I feel like someone gives
I'll
me
be
an up
making
and
my
down and
exit through
goes,
the window in the attic.
"We don't let you near the dynamite."
Once I found a way to unlock it.
Oh, you're out of luck there. My parents are
Maybe that's
super
what I'll do when I
security
pay off my
conscious.
student debt.
All the
Go to
windows are locked
Fanshawe and learn to
electromagnetically.
handle explosives.
Yeah, sure. Or you can
That would
also,
spice the fuck out of the blood wine streak.
There's also military training that will teach you to handle explosives.
Where are the
Yeah,
controls?
but I walk with a cane and I
Downstairs
don't want to
in
get
Dad's
shot.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I
That's
can't
fair.
get there without being seen.
Like,
Is there
if I
some
didn't
kind of
have to walk
override?
with a cane, it would probably be like, oh, I don't know
impossible
about,
to open them from up here,
you know, being a
unless
member of the
there was
military
power
with
failure.
current policies, but like,
Well then,
Hmm.
I know exactly
Really,
what
like,
to do.
I
well,
walk with a
I'll be
cane,
here
they're
if
not
you need
taking me.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do, run? Do 100 meters? I couldn't do that in high school normally, let alone now.
What does this machine do?
That's Judy, Kate. She's a portable lie detector.
Portable? It's 18 feet tall and bolted to the floor.
Yeah, well, I'm still working on that part. But she can detect
Yeah,
a
but
lie
it's
with
intermodal. I can
98%
stick it on a
accuracy.
train car, so it's portable.
Aren't most lie detectors
That's
portable?
quite a claim. Let's see.
I mean, most lie detectors are bullshit.
Yeah.
They're stress detectors, so literally you could just make someone shit themselves, and then it'll say that they're lying all the time.
Yeah.
Since this is the first
It's
time
like
we have
skin
met,
galvanization and
please
heart rate, I think is what it is.
To begin, please answer this simple question.
You try to find out how much you're sweating and how
What?
high your
How am I
heartbeat
supposed to
is.
answer that?
Which basically, like, you could just stress someone out a lot,
Just kidding.
and they'll show up. That's it.
Oh, sorry.
That's the same reason that, like, people can fool lie detector tests. It's like, if
She's
you're
using humor to build a
like
better rapport
genuinely
with
someone
subjects.
who, like, you know, is a little bit psychopathic or
Still
sociopathic, you
needs
could
some
just
work.
like not
To begin,
panic
please tell me your
and it
name.
won't show up.
I think we go along with it to test the accuracy.
Of course.
Because that seems like the Jenny
My name is
LeClue
Jenny
kind of way.
LeClue.
Welcome, Jenny LeClue. I am ready to detect. Please speak a truth or a lie.
No, they're true.
Now that true?
I don't trust people who hum.
just heard the truth. Would you like to try again?
Yes.
Yeah, this time I think we
Sure.
Simb.
This is fun. I have an evil twin sister called Penny.
Penny LeClue?
Well,
I think I broke it.
that's why you got to engage in proper testing protocols. You see, like if you had just gone, okay, I'm telling the truth, and it can tell that I'm telling the truth. Okay, but you got to test all the edge cases.
She's sensitive if you lie to her.
But don't worry, she'll reset in a minute.
Interesting.
So do we tell a big lie to get a giant hole blasted through? Or whatever the hell that is.
Hey!
Do we have a hole in our chest pocket now?
It
Or
doesn't
did it
look
like
like
slip
it.
out through
Oh,
the top?
that's just Maggie. She helps me find things I've dropped
That
on
was
the floor.
aggressive.
Why do you have a man's ring?
I mean, she was honest with us.
Yeah,
It belonged to...
gotta be equitable, you know?
It belonged to a friend. I'm taking care of it for him.
But that doesn't make any sense.
I'm telling you the truth.
No, I mean, why would a ring made of gold stick to a magnet? Unless...
Plating.
There's something more to it.
Yeah, like, come on.
Which of these machines
There's
did
no
you say
way
could
it's
see
pure
inside
gold.
things?
Excuse me, Tim. We
Actually,
need your help.
nickel's ferromagnetic, so if it was a nickel-plated ring, that would make a lot of sense. They use nickel for a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, they also use, you know, silver and steel for a lot of that too.
Metal, plastic, wood. There's nothing I can't see inside. Except, of course, your innermost thoughts.
Look,
Wow,
I don't
you
need
gave
a
him a
best
creepy
friend. I
personality,
just need
Joe.
him to examine the ring.
Ouch. That hurt my feelings.
Go easy on him. He's quite sensitive.
Why is everything you make really sensitive?
Hi, Tim. Nice to meet you.
Oh, how wonderful it is to meet you, my new friend. How can I be of service?
I need you to look inside something for me.
Okay, something was digging at the back of my mind. I checked it up. Silver isn't magnetic, I misspoke.
Ah, fair enough.
What's the one I'm thinking of? Cobalt. That's the
Come
one.
to me, tiny object of vast mystery and import.
Oh, I love that line.
It shows a respect for the craft.
Yeah.
You know? It's like, sup, Jenny? You have a
Reveal
mystery.
to me your deepest secrets. Swim in my warm bath of gamma rays.
Okay,
I
that's
don't
creepy.
know about that.
That one got creepy.
I'm peering deeply inside you.
Okay, this
Oh,
is
don't
getting real
like it.
creepy.
What's that? Deeper still. I've never seen
No.
one of those before.
Okay, so,
Fascinating. Oh, the
hey,
wonders
Glass.
I've seen.
Can you
Well,
decrease the horniness
spit it
on
out
this the next run?
One moment, please, while I paint you a picture
Yep.
of the journey we just shared.
What's it set at now? Like 0.7?
He's gonna
0.8?
show us Rule 34 of him in the ring. Oh damn.
I knew there was something special about this ring. It's full of tiny cogs and gears.
I've never seen such intricate craftsmanship.
I need to borrow your microscope.
So we were going to escape, but we immediately just didn't.
Tiny buttons hidden in plain sight. Clever. I wonder what they do.
Oh, okay. God damn it. I have the worst luck with these puzzles.
The ring opened up like a flower.
Why would the Dean have a ring like this?
That looks sharp.
Whatever its true purpose, one
That's
thing
a
was
key.
clear.
Like, It's definitely a key, but like, you punch someone in the face with that, oh, they're fucked up.
This ring was
To be fair, without that,
important.
they'd have been fucked up anyways.
That's
Something
true.
big and chunky with a gem in the middle. Ugh.
Yeah, that's
Important enough
true.
to kill for?
But like, that looks sharp.
Dean
That would
Strauss
gouge you. That would
Yeah.
bruise your face, and a face is a... I don't want to say a tough thing to bruise, but like a weird thing to bruise.
Yeah.
You gotta
This
be hit
ring
a
is that
specific
really?
way.
Susie had entrusted her deepest, darkest secret to Jenny. The least Jenny could do was be honest with her.
I mean, we were gonna tell her the truth before.
It's the Dean's ring. Well, it was.
You stole the Dean's ring?
Technically, I found it.
Jenny, you've got to turn that into the police. It could be important evidence.
Considering the police think my mom is the Dean's murderer, I certainly won't be handing it over to them.
But what if they ask me about it? I can't lie to them. I'm a terrible liar.
Okay, so we have established that Jenny wants to solve clues for her ego and sense of self-importance, and
Yep.
doesn't actually give a shit about death.
Yep. So
Iconic.
I'm gonna
We
go with
stand.
reassure, because I'm not really a big fan of blackmail in this case. Like
Yeah.
we've been working hard to build a rapport, and all of a sudden we're just like, you better not fucking talk. No, that doesn't work.
It's not lying.
I don't want
It's
Jenny
just leaving
LeClue
out
to
the
suck,
parts
and I
that
feel
don't
like
concern
currently she needs to suck less.
I can't go to jail. My parents will
She's
disown
made a
me,
few
and my
suck
reputation will be ruined.
No one's going to jail, as long as we protect each other. I'll keep your secret, you keep mine.
There we go. Simple.
Like, friends.
Oh my god. We're friendos.
Sure. Now go back to whatever mad science experiment you were doing. I've got a window to open.
Complex formulas filled the large chalkboard. Clearly the work of a
Yes,
genius.
very complex formulas. Are you seeing these complex formulas, Will?
Okay, she's secretly
Like
smart.
X?
We get it.
And lines?
What is
Yeah,
all this anyway?
a Venn diagram.
Oh, that? I'm working on a proof to help me pick the perfect prom dress.
You've got to be kidding me.
I know. I'm not sure it can be done either, but I've got to try. It's the biggest decision a girl has to make.
I kind of
Whoops.
love this.
Why would it be mathematical?
Well, you can consider based... Well, if we're going based on the Venn diagram, that Venn diagram is proportion of sizes, color balance, and something else. Aesthetic design? Yeah, we'll go with aesthetic design. And that's the three parts of the Venn diagram there. And right in the middle, that's the perfect prom dress.
But how does math do that?
Well, color balance.
How does math do that?
Color balance can definitely be determined mathematically. Same with proportion sizes. It's the aesthetic part that she's trying to solve.
I don't know. I don't know.
We're just messing with everything in our lab. This is not going to go well.
Not a lot of self-awareness. Or spatial awareness.
No.
That stupid robot just tried to kill me.
Oh, be careful. Claude is very fragile.
Fragile? It's enormous.
I haven't finished calibrating him yet. If you want to help, get him to pick some things up and put them down again. He needs the practice. Just don't pick up anything too heavy.
Chair, perhaps? A teddy bear? I don't really know if there's anything in particular that we can get him to pick up. Or crush, I guess, in this instance.
Yeah.
See what we got on the window.
I can't move it by force alone. If it's locked electromagnetically, it must be connected to the power supply.
Do they not notice the hydro bill?
They're rich. I doubt it. Like, you bring up so many very valid questions, but my answer will always continue to be, they're rich.
I guess that's a good point. Like, it's not about a lack of intelligence or experience, but just you can afford to make the choice to not give a fuck.
Yeah, exactly. Can we get it to crush one of these teddy bears?
Maybe.
The record. Okay, I think we're done with this room. I don't think there's anything we can actually do here.
Yeah, I think it's right to the robot arm.
Yeah.
Return to robot.
But what do we get it to grab? Have it try
My
and
ass?
Unless you want your ass, like, completely fucking crushed, I don't think that's the best choice of action. Like, I know you might have some wild Friday nights, but a completely crushed ass doesn't seem like the best course of action.
Nah, and I prefer to be the top anyways.
Yeah, exactly. Is there anything? Okay. Like, I guess I was trying to find something, but I guess I just need to, like, use it. In order for it to have something. Ah. I wanted to sit on the chair.
I think that might have been too heavy.
Must have been too heavy.
Please be gentle with Claude. He's only a prototype, and I'm out of replacement parts.
I've got it!
In the back of Jenny's brilliant mind, a plan was forming.
I know exactly how to get out of here. How can I escape from Glatt's Manor?
Okay. So
it's 3.
It's locked magnetically. So what if we have it overload, then we have Judy blow her fuses, and then the window should open when the power grid gets destroyed.
Yeah.
When I overload the robot arm, it sparks and fuses. And when I light a Judy cage, she nearly overloads the power supply. So if I could overload
Now, I know
them at
you've
the
been
same
getting on me
time,
for valid but nitpicky criticisms,
then
but
I might be
like,
able to short the power and
given
overload
everything we
the
know
attic.
about Susie Glatz, she probably has like an isolated
couldn't
fuse box
operate
that
both
doesn't just
machines
take
by
the entire
herself.
house's power.
Probably.
Like I'm sure that she's got a couple surge protectors.
Probably.
Susie,
Yes?
I need your...
Asking Susie for help was worse than having a tooth pulled out.
I need you to do something.
Of course. What can I do to help?
I didn't say I needed your help.
Oh, sorry.
I don't owe you anything.
God.
Okay, okay. What
Yeah,
do you
there's
want
a
me to do?
reason why Jenny isn't liked.
Go stand by
Yeah.
Judy Kate.
Alright. But why?
No time for questions. Just wait for my instructions. Susie, are you ready?
Welcome back, Susie Glatz. I am ready to detect. Please speak a truth or a lie.
Okay, I'm ready. What should I do now?
Just hold on until I give the signal.
And perhaps instruct her on what she needs to do.
Yeah, the communication people.
The robot arm strained under the weight of the giant metal object.
Okay, Susie, tell a lie. And make it a big one.
Oh, okay. A big lie. Ooh, I've got just the thing. I'm wearing...
Donald Trump stole... Fuck. I was gonna say Biden stole the election.
No, Susie, a big lie. Something terrible.
I'm just no good at lying.
Tell Judy Kate you killed Dean Stroudsbury.
What? That's horrible.
Do you want to help or not?
Yes, but...
Then hurry up and say it.
Okay, okay. I killed the Dean?
Louder!
I killed
Climate
the Dean.
change isn't
Bigger.
real.
I killed Dean Strawberry.
Vaccines cause
You
autism.
mean it! I murdered Dean Strawberry. I bashed his brains.
There is a source in the White House with Q-level clearance that is feeding us information. Warning, high-tier bullshit detected. The fuck is this?
Wow, that was messed up.
Oh my gosh. I'm a horrible person.
As Susie Glatz contemplated every bad thing she'd ever done in her life.
Which is like 2 things. She like squashed a bug once.
Jenny heard the unmistakable sound of success.
It worked.
Aren't they having power grid failures like regularly?
I think this might be why.
Yeah. Oh, we can't even
They
talk to
not?
Susie to be like, yo, good work. Good lies.
I'd like to imagine that, like, they're like, we have these power surges that all seem to be coming from this portion of the grid. And then you just send it out to a technician. He's just got a voltmeter. Just sees, like, 50% of the county's power going up, like, the side of the, like, fucking chimney of this building. Goes, huh.
Jenny! You can't leave now. It's past curfew.
Watch me.
Well, you can't go out wearing pajamas.
I'm not playing dress up with you while my mom is trapped in jail for a crime she didn't commit. The real killer is still out there.
And what if you find him? What then?
Jenny paused. She hadn't thought that far ahead.
Are you scared?
Ooh. A real moment. Are we scared, Will? Is Jenny scared? Or is she
yes?
Or is she too stupid to be scared?
I almost want to be like, no, I don't experience fear, I don't experience joy. I am objective.
Exactly, right?
Of course not.
Jenny would never admit it, even to herself, but she was scared.
You know who should be scared? The murderer. Because I'm coming for him.
Or her. Come on. You don't know.
Well, let me help you. We can work out a plan together.
Sorry, Susie, but I work alone.
At least take this with you then. So we can stay in touch.
Susie talkie.
See, this is why we gotta have more, like, normalization of they-them pronouns. Because it makes mysteries and thrillers a lot more nuanced.
Right? I'm totally fine with just dropping pronouns as like a regular thing and just using they-them pronouns. Sorry, I mean gender-specific pronouns, not dropping pronouns in general.
Well, even you think of writing a game like this, and it's like, if people are using words like they
Fine,
to refer to
I'll take
people
it.
that they don't recognize, and someone is like, oh yeah, he, and you're like,
Oh.
oh, he, eh?
Yeah.
Who is
Don't
he?
call me.
Who do you know?
I'll call you.
Okay, good luck. And be careful. There's still a killer out there.
I'll be fine.
Jenny, you won't tell anyone about my lab, right?
That would be a hell of a thriller
Only if
twist,
you cover
actually,
for
if
me.
you got, like, a whole thing going on where it's like, no one saw the suspect.
Of
People just
course.
keep saying they,
I'm
like, they don't
always
know who
here
this
for
person
you.
is, and then it turns out it's like, aha, everyone
to
who
be
was
best
aiding and
friends,
abetting the
Jenny
murder
LeClue.
was,
I
like,
just know
respecting
it.
a person's pronouns. And then you get shot by an NB on a rooftop, and you're
Sure.
like, no!
Right after I sign up for cheerleading.
That would be the worst. That would be the worst murder story ever. Oh god. Oh, that's fantastic. I love the idea
To catch a
of
real
that.
killer, Jenny needed her detective gear. But that was at home.
There's been worse.
across
There's
town
the
and
Sherlock
swarming
thing with the
police.
boomerang.
It wasn't wise to travel through
Sherlock
town
thing
after
with the
curfew.
boomerang?
To avoid being caught, she'd have to
There's an
find
episode
another
of
way home.
BBC's Sherlock where,
Excellent, thought Jenny.
without
Time
any
to
actual
exercise
plausible
my sneaking
environmental
muscles.
clues within any stretch of a normal imagination, they determined that someone was murdered by a boomerang.
That's amazing. I've watched it, but I completely forgot about that.
The H Bomber Guy Sherlock video is so good because it's like you don't notice things, but like it's give you
wow.
Yeah, and it's not just Sherlock, like it's Stephen Moffat who does it, but like
Yeah.
he does it with Doctor Who too, where it's
Oh
like
god, yeah.
if
Jenny
you
paused
give
at the edge
enough
of
of
the
a
roof,
thorough
her teeth chattering in the chill
implication that
wind.
something smart is happening, the audience will just buy in and go, okay,
Below her,
still waiting for it to show
nowhere
up, but
glowed
okay.
eerily
And as long
in
as
the
it's a
darkness.
series, you don't have to show
From
up.
this vantage point,
Yeah.
she could see all the way to the lighthouse at the center of the lake. Only the wealthiest families in Arthurton could afford such spectacular views.
If I cross the lake, it's just a short stroll through the Forgotten Forest to my house.
But navigating the lake at night was not an easy task. Many accomplished sailors had met their doom on the ragged rocks of Bear Claw Bend.
Well, I've already worked out a way across. Time to get off this roof before someone spots me.
Honey, that LeClue girl is on our roof.
Damn it! Think fast, Jenny.
And just like that, Jenny was gone. Her first great adventure cut short before it had begun.
I'm right here. Just hanging around.
Nice.
I get to do a shimmy. Little
Look
shimmy
at them
shake.
dangly legs.
Damn, she got some upper body strength though.
Yeah, that's not easy.
I'm kind of hoping like a silhouette appears at some point during the house, like this entire bit with the house background. But I guess not.
Do you think she like hangs off a banister to practice grip strength for climbing?
Yes, yes I do, because she's that much of a fucking nerd.
I knew someone who dated like a hardcore climber, and apparently they would just like do like strength training, just call it like grip training for climbing specifically, and it's just like they would go to the climbing gym for a half hour and just like go up like 3 holds or whatever, and then just sit there for like a half hour after the like, you know, like after most of the people had gone, like taking up a lane, just like
Yeah.
seeing how long they could stay there. And it's like after a while it's like, do you ever just sit there and be like, I'm bored, like do you put on a podcast?
I imagine it would be like most long-term workouts where you're just kind of like, huh, okay, yeah.
Well, like, because with strength training you can change the, like, you're not supposed to always be doing the same exercise like infinite reps for an hour straight. Like you have a muscle you're targeting, it's a more dynamic thing. And like with cardio you do long stretches of time, but like there it's meditative, you can get stuck with like the heartbeat and like trying to balance your breathing. But like climbing, I feel like at that point you're mostly just focusing on like your wrists and your
the lake.
like arms. I don't. You gotta turn on the radio or something.
Yeah, definitely. Like the majority of workouts that I do, which are very infrequent as of late, are cardio workouts, and that's turning on podcasts is pretty much what I do, because there's fuck all else to do.
Sorry, we got bots in chat.
Yeah,
What's that
yeah, I know.
sound?
I'm just filling out the thing.
There was a paper airplane that flew by.
But what if I do
True
want to
believer,
become famous?
I am the one you seek.
What if I want viewers in primes?
Oh man, what if I really want them big follows? True believer, I am the one you seek. I swim in the shadows of giants and stir beneath the eerie silence. Follow the path, reach the
I
truth.
swim in the shadows of giants that stir
This is
beneath
starting to get the
eerie
energy
followed
of,
path.
like,
Reach the truth.
What a curious and cryptic message.
the
Was it
adults
meant
and
for her?
like
And who had
willing
written it?
fellow high
Friend or
schoolers are
foe?
like, Jenny had a bit of a
This could be
break
from the
after
killer.
the murders, so we're just gonna
It was far too
try
Yeah.
and keep her busy.
I
Yeah.
have to find out.
The entire town is in on it, just keeping her busy.
And so she decided to ignore the message.
That's
and
why they
carry on
have
to
the
her
lab.
house.
Susie's not a scientist at
The way
all.
I'm ignoring the case of the mysterious message.
Like every time that she's about, like she leaves the room and is like, aha, the next clue. Like the social worker that's been missing the whole time comes in and was like, so how'd it go?
So, how did your case go? Oh, really?
Did she seem to be doing okay? How about you? How did you feel about that interaction?
You found the glasses on her head, you say. How did
The
that make
SS
you
Susie.
feel?
A gift from Susie's father as a thank you for preparing his lunch one day.
This
I
will
feel
get
like
me
the
across
so
lake
how
in
does
no
that make
time.
you feel is such an outdated
Unfortunately,
one.
the
It really
boat didn't
is.
belong
It
to
really
I'm just
is.
borrowed for a couple of hours.
Especially like I
You
feel
won't
like
even
most
notice it's gone.
people at this point
Borrowing
like
something without asking
have
first
been
was
in
just stealing.
like
It's always
an
easier to
actual
ask for
psychologist's
forgiveness
office
than
once or
wait for
twice, and
permission.
usually it's just like, okay, so what brings you in here today?
Of course, the boat
Oh
needed
yeah,
a key.
okay, so
Jeez,
maybe some
nobody trusts anyone
strategies.
these days.
How's
There
the
must
been
be
going
some
longer
other
term?
way
Has
to
it been
stop
more than 3 months? Okay, so we're gonna give you this. Just take that to your prescription. We'll see you in 3 weeks. Get the fuck out of my office. Thank you. That'll be $400, not including the prescription.
Yup. Gotta love therapy.
It's wild that people will be like, wow, Canada, free healthcare. And it's like, no, we have free emergency care.
Yeah.
That's it.
I bet I can hotwire the
Like,
boat
if you're
I get this
gonna
panel.
die, the
Discover
government
electric
helps
shock.
you for free.
It's far
That's
too
it.
dangerous.
You break an
Oh,
arm,
danger.
yeah, like, your gut ruptures, you got cancer, you're good. But like, if you have like a chronic pain disorder, for example, or if you have PTSD, no, you pay for those meetings.
Yeah.
You pay for the dentist, you pay for glasses. It's frustrating because,
Damn,
like, at a
this
certain
one's
point, you
stuck.
have to be like,
Foiled at the last
there's a
moment by
lot of
rusty
really
screw.
thorough and
Well,
extensive
time to
research
turn
that
back.
shows that, like,
There's only
you
one
have
screw
to
left.
deal with healthcare the
Thanks,
more
pry the panel
less
back.
like
And
holistic
so
way.
she
Like,
very carefully
untreated
pulled
conditions
on
of
the
any
panel.
kind, physical or mental, can like wear on a body and counteract each other and like work against each other. Like, there's a certain point where you have to just be like, it is costing
Wow,
us so much
that's
more
complicated.
to make people pay for a dentist, like, because people are just broke and
Far
not
too
going to the
complicated
dentist.
for a
Yeah.
Mom always says
Or getting heart
a great
disease.
detective focuses on the solution, not the problem. It looks like I can bypass the ignition by turning the dials until all the lights are illuminated.
I do like that
okay.
after going into that and being like, oh man, healthcare, blah blah blah. It's almost like we need a holistic solution so that people aren't like priced out. And then immediately after that, it's like, we need solutions. It's like, yes. Yes, we do, Jenny. Thank you. Thank you for adding to the discussion.
Okay, so we need these lights to light up. Now, what causes the lights to light up?
The other one surely has to, like, make sufficient connections that we can get. So that one lights up. That one's got the initial connection.
Yeah, that
You must
one
be able to
goes
make the other
all the
one.
way to there. So if we can get.
Do they
maybe
all
like
just connect to these terminals, then go, like, behind the box?
It looks like it. I don't know. It's kind of hard to see.
Okay, so the light is never on for the other one. It's frequently on for this one because it's getting the power.
Yeah.
But which positions? Currently, it's got the purple and the red.
What about this?
That moved and the purple went off.
There we
I
go.
did it!
All the lights needed to be lit up, basically, is what was happening there.
Jenny had found a way to cross the lake, but she was still a long way from home. She pulled out her journal and plotted a course.
We're using this map?
First, I'll navigate my way around Skull Island.
Okay.
Next, I'll sail up the river to the Almaston Bridge.
Ah, yes, very.
Then it's just a short stroll through the Forgotten Forest. And finally, home.
Given how stylized this is, I'd love to imagine that she sails past it not realizing it's like 1,000 meters away. And then like ends up in a random patch of forest and then like gets caught by a forest ranger the next day, like covered in tree branches like 6 miles into the national
Jenny
forest.
had never crossed the lake after dark. Come to think of it, she'd never even driven a boat before. She thrust the throttle forward and felt a cool wind whip through her hair. Sneaking around after curfew had its benefits.
Ooh. Ooh, okay. Gotta be quiet so we don't get caught by the law. Also, I don't want to crash into stuff.
Don't want to get spooked.
Why is there a thing somewhere around here? There it is. Okay. Stickor? Stickor. Okay. We now have fish stickor.
Space whales.
There are also giant fucking whales over there. Like, Jesus Christ, those things are huge.
I'm sure they're going for krill.
Yeah.
Also, isn't this a lake?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. And there are things like that in the lake, apparently.
Very spooky. Nessie, I run for her money.
I want to go see them. We need to visit them.
You must meet our untimely demise.
Of course. Easy does it. Easy does it. No Tokyo Drift in here. Deja vu. I've just been in this place before.
I swim in the shadows of giants. This must be the place.
No desire.
You joke, but I listen to that on repeat so often.
It slaps.
It
like,
really
that's
does.
the thing about like basically every song that's become a meme.
I have to get a
They're
closer
only
look.
funny because they slap. If they weren't good,
Yeah.
it would be like, haha, stop sending me this, I'm cringing.
Like Darude Sandstorm and Brainpower.
Yeah. Like, have you, oh, what was I gonna say? Woo. Sorry about that. A little brain fort. What are we attempting to locate?
That thing. One can assume. It's a bottle.
The elusive red herring, a rare and fantastic sight.
I can't believe they really exist.
Jenny had always believed they were a fisherman's tale, but seeing them firsthand.
I hate that I laugh every time because I don't want to
so
validate
funny.
it.
It's so funny.
And then I do it to someone else. And every time they're like, oh, fuck you. Fuck you.
A message in a bottle. Curious.
That was apparently stuck inside a red herring.
I am the voice of reason.
Okay.
I walk amongst the sunken ships that once sailed through the glowing mist. It's another clue. This case just got more
Dangerous. Jenny had no idea who was behind these messages. This could be an elaborate
Or
trap.
it could be the answer I need to prove my mom's innocence.
The best
Or it could
course
be
of action was
nothing.
to go back and get help from an adult.
No, I have to see where this
You
leads.
could be alone on a
On my
boat
own.
without a life jacket in the middle of some rocky seas.
Yeah.
Sunken ships, glowing mist. That should be easy to spot. Thanks, fishies!
Naturally, there's a sticker up here.
Must be. Alright, but you gotta get past Skull Island.
Yep. We need to have a fight with King Kong. And then perhaps bait
yeah.
him into a fight with Godzilla.
Will underwhelm audiences in something that where they'll be like, wow, because it's dark and in a full-size theater with like THX and stuff.
Yeah.
And then you'll never really bother watching it on your TV because you'll go, wow, that was great, but never actually watch it.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you ever see the 2012 movie with John Cusack?
Yes, I did.
That was so bad.
Fucking love how trash that movie is.
It's wild that just like no one believed it, but everyone kind of wanted to like buy in. They were like, okay, none of us believe this, but like let's all just pretend that the world's gonna end.
Yeah.
It's wild too, because wasn't like December or like December 21st, 2012, literally just like one of the digits rolling over.
Yeah, well, no, because 2012 was like, yeah, a weird miscount of the Mayan calendar ending or something like that.
What I had understood was that it was like, basically it's like this big elaborate date, but at that point, like the 12th of like the largest digit would turn to 13, then it was 13,000,000,000,000, and that like in mythology, like in like, you know, like this is the fourth world, I believe is what it is, and like the world will eventually be destroyed and there will be another world. There have been worlds before with darkness. That's like where like Quetzalcoatl was from and stuff like that, but apparently none of it actually mentions that this happens when the number rolls over. It's just like, yo, it's got a bunch of zeros in it now.
Oh my god.
It's also not even the end of the Mayan calendar. It's literally just a digit rolling over. There's more calendar.
Oh, yep, fair enough. I mean, a calendar once set up is pretty infinite.
Yeah.
We need to get over there.
It was like an artifact, kind of like analog graven thing though. So like it did have a limited space, so there was an end. But it also, even that end wasn't like, oh, the world's gonna end. It's just like, oh, no more rock.
I can't see a thing. I must be heading in the right direction.
They give you a lot of really tight corners here.
Time to die at sea.
Yay. I refuse to crash this entire section.
I mean, I imagine that's the intent.
Yeah, but you know my history with games.
Yeah, every now and then the gremlin gets through and you're like, what if?
What if I just hit?
It's like, that's one of the things that I find the most fun about like tabletop RPGs in particular, is that like people do the exact same thing where it's like, you know, there's an obvious solution, people pick the obvious solution. You like give a problem that has a very clear opening and people will pick it. But the whole point is that like people would be like,
many ships
no.
have lost their bearings here.
And then as a GM you go, okay,
swallowed by the lake.
consequences.
Maybe I could
And
shed
then people
some
grin
light
and they're
on
like, hey,
these ships.
I poked it.
Yeah. Is that a plane?
You sure it's not a bird?
It might be a bird. This is like some Scooby-Doo shit. He's gonna be
Oh,
a
yeah.
man in an old school diving suit running around trying to get the kids off his lawn.
Oh, there's a mast.
Yeah. Oh, there's a bottle. Nice. I like that the rock just got in the way of all of that.
Imagine you solve this whole mystery,
Another message.
and then you find a
This is
small
starting to
case
feel
that
like
has
a
a
wild
pistol
goose
in it,
chase.
and you're like near the edge of like this cell door, and your mom's just like, "Okay, you got hollow points."
I am the hope in darkness. I sit in a spiral of ancient stone. Against the clock, I move alone. What's with all these cryptic messages? And where are they leading?
I really hope it's just
I
that
should get out of here before I
conspiracy
turn into a
theorist.
ghost.
Like, he just keeps putting bottles everywhere in the bay.
It just starts getting weirdly anti-Semitic out of nowhere. You're just like, okay, beneath the sunken treasure, forbidden by the accursed elders of... Ooh, I don't like that.
Yeah.
You find like a copy of the Turner Diaries, you're like, okay, we don't talk to CJ anymore.
That was his name. I forgot.
Phew, made it out alive. Let's go find this spiral of ancient stone.
I wonder where the spiral of ancient stone could be.
I think it's Bear Claw Bend. Bear Claw Bend's my guess.
Yeah, Bear Claw Bend sounds pretty good.
That's what will really hype up this section, is a bit of surf rock.
Home to an
Yeah.
abandoned lighthouse.
Go
And
for
an
it.
excellent sandwich shop. Decommissioned over 100 years
Okay,
ago.
it's really hard to
the
try and
light
listen to this
mysteriously
while also
continued to
navigating.
illuminate the darkness.
But all I made out of it is Skull Island has a lighthouse and a sandwich shop. That's what I made out of that.
I could go for a skull sandwich.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Maybe a skull grilled cheese with some nice. Oh god, I was gonna say skull tomato soup, but then I wanted to make something else, so I gave it another second of thought and just went, nope, got nothing.
I'm a big fan of the sandwich continuum. Like, burgers to hot dogs to tortillas to, you know, like McGriddles or whatever. Because it's one of those things where you can have like the fun petty arguments, which are really entirely just what is the definition, and do we all ascribe to the same definition of what a sandwich is? That's what the argument always is. But like, when you take the sandwich pill and like start blending techniques, oh, it's good. Like, you know the thing where like you butter up a pan for a grilled cheese with like the like, you know, like it's a piece of bread toasted on side.
Yeah.
You ever done that for like a burger?
No, but that sounds good.
Like, I'd fuck with that.
Yeah.
Just the other day, I put breakfast sausage on my burger. They all fell out. It didn't work, but you know what?
You gotta
Why do I
try.
feel like I'm being watched?
You gotta try.
Yeah, and I mean, like they had a bit of Dijon and mayo on them, so they still tasted good.
So my family used to get Swiss chalet a lot.
Well, aren't you ominous?
I don't like Swiss chalet a whole lot. It's just a taste thing.
Swiss chalet doesn't have any.
Yeah, exactly. But what they do have is really nice bread rolls and really good fries. So what I would always do with them is hollow out the bread roll by like eating one end and then like picking the innards out of the bread roll.
Oh my god, I did the same thing!
And then stuffing the fries in there.
I didn't do it with the fries. I would put the sauce in there.
It was glorious. It was glorious.
Well, I would put butter in there, and then like a little bit of sauce.
Okay. I really want to be assertive with this crow and be friends with this crow, Because
I feel like this isn't a question of how you deal with the crow. It's a question of, does Jenny know how to deal with animals?
That's true. So do we be cautious around this crow? Because probably best around a foreign animal.
I mean, it's a crow.
Yeah.
Just go to the light. It'll fly away.
Okay.
Shoot! Shoot! Ah! Seriously, get off the light! Ah! Ah! And watch your language. Ow! Ah! How rude!
See,
Hey.
it worked. Gotta stand your ground.
It may have bitten you, but oh well. Apparently I missed.
The only one that you shouldn't stand your ground against is a Canada goose because it's got a long, deft neck with a pointy beak and it's at like dick level. Don't fuck with that.
You can fuck with a Canada goose.
You just can't fuck with the ones like at Western Campus. I don't know what it is. Like they just they don't take anything. Like they stop so many cars that honk at them constantly that they just have begun ignoring stimulus.
Yeah, they don't really give a fuck about anything. What used to happen when I used to row, there used to be Canada geese that would establish their their nest on one end of the island, and my dad would go there to take photos. Oh, we had that in Blood Wine.
That was not a rock.
Yeah.
It was a crab.
Except they were snails.
Yeah.
Neat.
Oh.
It
might
definitely
wanna...
did. It definitely did exist, but I wasn't able to.
We might need to. We're probably gonna have to cycle back a second time. I kept the last of them off. I think there was still some crab. Mr. Krams?
Yeah, here, Crabbles. Oh, hey. Oh, yep, there we go.
Nice.
Oh, shit, we completed it. Is this really the thing we want to be doing on a boat? Okay.
Well, edges first. We definitely don't want to be doing this on a boat without doing the edges first.
Yeah, naturally. Let's see. So this...
Ooh, I think that's up top.
Yeah. Yeah, there we go. This is definitely the bottom part. This is probably this side here.
Oh, the other one.
Other one?
The other one's got Explore Beautiful.
The other one. Boom.
Explore Beautiful.
Explore beautiful Arthurton. With a postcard. Hi, Mom. Summer camp is going great. We took a field trip to the observatory last night. I've never seen so many stars. Ricky knew all of the constellations. He's so smart and super cute. And he held my hand. Don't worry, he's only 2 years older than me. Please don't tell Dad. I miss you all so much. Love, Stella. Here's a paint by numbers I made. It's a dragon.
Are we supposed to have this?
Nope, someone ripped this up. I can't move.
Oh, it jiggled.
I can't.
Oh.
I can't move.
We bugging.
I genuinely... Can I... Oh,
Can you jimmy your cables?
I went off screen. Go options, controls.
Yeah, it's all WASD and entered and stuff.
I can do this and...
In 5 minutes since the last save, it says.
Well, I worry about it just breaking again if it doesn't do the thing, but we kind of can't move, so I guess we're out of options. We specifically need to get that one rock to trigger. Yeah, I can't even enter for that. Okay. Blech.
Womp womp.
And continue. That way it just forces a
The
reload.
night grew dark.
Why do I feel like I'm being watched?
Oh, we get to change our option.
Well,
You feel
aren't
like you're being
ominous?
watched because we have 2 viewers.
Do you want to be cautious this time and see what happens?
Yeah, sure.
Alright.
Nice.
Do we just
birdie.
careen into a rock?
What are you doing all the way out here?
I have a feeling that either way it's gonna bite us. Oh.
How rude.
Oh, we didn't get bit that time. Oh, right. We need to hit the bird. God damn it. Nope, hit the bird. Fuck.
Hit the board.
Board. Throw the rock at our head. Come on. You won't do it.
Watch it, buddy! Talk about a murder of crows. It threw a rock at me.
And
it was lunch.
And it was a rock crab.
It was a crab.
That song wouldn't be nearly as well known if it wasn't for Family Guy.
Which is too bad, because the B-52s have a lot of those, and they're all great. Like, the only reason that Love Shack is not particularly sus is because people don't seem to raise their eyes at the idea that there's like a shack in the middle of nowhere called the Love Shack.
Love Shack, baby.
I got a carcass about to set sail, and it's the carcass of a whale, I think. That's the lyric, right?
I can't fucking remember.
The Love Shack is real. Oh, hey, pick a bottle. No, okay.
I am the answer to the unasked question. I stand inside the crescent moon. Below death's gaze, I wait for you.
This seems like a tourist
I
trap
wait
thing.
for you. This could be the last
Like
clue.
you could have it be in like a boat tour, finding these bottles, and you're going through this entire rocky area.
Our intrepid detective would need
Yeah,
to be
there's someone who's
extremely
like doing admin for like City Hall in town who's got like a $200 a month budget to just spread these around town.
Right? Pays a random fisherman to just do it one day.
Mm-hmm.
That would be fantastic. Welcome to scenic Arthurton.
Alright, below Death's Gaze would be underneath one of Skull Island's eyes.
I'm assuming underneath Skull Island.
So is it the lighthouse or the sandwich shop?
Or is it the combination lighthouse sandwich shop?
Or are we going to show up there killed by King Kong, who is going to give us Death's Gaze, which we are below?
Naturally. Or are we below Death's gaze, therefore Death does not see us, therefore he does not kill us?
True.
Yes. All fascinating things.
Here we go.
Alright, so there's a map over here, so let's see where we can get Death's gaze. It's probably in Bagel Bay, if I had to guess.
Yep.
It's probably because they couldn't make an interesting clue for Bagel Bay. Fucking town's
I'm
like,
sure they could have found one.
Yeah, the town's just like, how the fuck do we make Bagel Bay interesting? Why do we fucking call it Bagel Bay? Why can't we rename it something cool? I've given up on the absolute assurance of not dying at this point, and I'm just holding down the throttle. Although I feel like
You've grown
there's
accustomed. You got the feel. Slipping through like an eel. You're feeling the waves.
Well, that, and I realized that the speed changes proportionally to how fucked you currently are. So it slows down when you get closer to the rocks.
Interesting.
Alright, me and Bagel Bay.
That's a big old bay.
Something landed here.
Yeah, that's a central uplift if I've ever seen one.
Yep. Was it a UFO, though? Aliens. Gotta be aliens. I like that the boat is reflected in the water, even though it does not need to be.
What if aliens have found us, but they're just shy? Ooh.
Hello?
All of the sightings were them going, oh, I don't know if I should. Hey, I don't. Oh,
Who's there?
Okay, all right. No, you're on a phone. It's fine.
Stay right there. Don't come any closer.
They're too afraid to ask. They're just in orbit going, oh, I hope Earth says something. I just want to be friends.
Do we persuade or threaten? I don't think it matters either way, but it's our personality.
Persuade? But, like...
Whoever you are, the police
I do
are right
feel
behind me. And they're very angry,
like
but I might be
Jenny
able to help you
LeClue
if
has,
you just
like,
talk to me.
short girl fight me energy.
Yeah. Because I have a feeling this isn't anything in
Okay,
particular.
if you won't cooperate, I'll have to come over there.
And turn on this light. Hey, it was rocks.
Oh, it was just my imagination. Thank God.
The real killer is behind you.
God damn it.
Get away from me, you maniacal murderer!
The dogs bark loudest before the dawn.
He's got floaties on.
CJ?
The dogs bark loudest before the dawn.
Oh God.
Early bird.
I can't remember what we
The
selected.
early bird can't catch the lazy worm.
The wind blows strongly from the east.
Glass houses.
Watch pot. No.
Oh, it was
People
watch
in glass
pot?
houses should invest.
No, are you an imposter?
Oh,
The
yeah,
wind
you're
blows
right.
strongly from the east.
It was a watch pot.
A watched pot feels very self-conscious.
The evening sky is full of fireflies.
Is this new?
No,
Oh, goldfish, I think.
yeah, I think we chose goldfish.
The absent-minded goldfish swims into the blender.
Excellent. They haven't broken you yet.
The notes were from you? I thought you were the Dean's killer. Why did you make me go through all that
mean,
if
he
you were
could
already
be.
in the boat?
Could be.
This is the only place safe from their prying ears.
Why?
We have to hurry. This line isn't secure.
What?
Line? We're talking in person.
Exactly. Now quickly, before they get a fix on our location. What did you want to tell me?
Seriously? You can't keep doing this. You contacted me.
Did I?
Actually, I'm glad you did. I need to ask you a few questions about the Dean's
I
death.
thought I told you to delete those
Question
texts.
everything. Trust no one.
I'm on probation. I'm not supposed to be doing this shit again. So, you ever look up the flat Earth? You ever been flat smacked, kid? I got some good rap music if you wanna listen to it. You know, talks about how the Earth is flat. Good tunes.
Good tunes. Good tunes.
Those scribbles look familiar. I found your map of Arthurton in the library.
Keep it. It's a great map. Very rare. Ripped it straight out of the town charter, first edition. Come to think of it, only edition.
That's probably
What about
not
all
why
your
you're not
notes?
allowed in there
Don't
anymore,
you need
dude.
them?
Yep.
Nope. Got it all backed up in the cloud.
What cloud?
Did
Don't
I say
disrespect
cloud?
public
I meant
documents,
head.
man. Someone else might
So
have
what
to
do all
read
those
that
notes
book.
mean?
Come on. Respect your local library. You fucking whore.
So are they shadow men or UFO swarm? I think the notes talked about shadow men a lot.
Yeah.
Who are the Shadow Men?
Yes! You're
I've
starting
been
to see
watching
differently.
too much. I've been getting too much into like actual conspiracy stuff lately, like watching what conspiracy theorists are up to.
Yeah.
And like genuinely, I'm sitting there and I'm like, well, the technically the shadow people are supposed to be interdimensional, so they're kind of the same as aliens, but also kind of the same as the Anunnaki. It's like, okay, easy there, Alex Jones.
Hate for the poisoning the water, turning the frickin' frogs gay.
You ever hear the real story about that?
No. Actually, I haven't.
So, basically, it's like this huge bait and switch, right? So, starts off, not Alex Jones. Alex Jones has the end thing, and then Alex Jones is it. But, there's a chemical called atrazine. It's a fertilizer, and in particular, it's like a large commercial fertilizer. Like, you spread it on crops, you stick it in a crop duster kind of thing. So, like, there's a risk of it getting into the water in significant amounts. And they were discovering that frogs in like rivers that were being affected by that started experiencing a lot of like a really high rate of like sex defects and like hormonal imbalances. They were generating new organs and stuff like that.
Lying around. Why were you in such
and
I lost track
like
of
it's
time.
not like, oh, they were covering it up, but it's genuinely just like. And then at first it was like, oh,
where?
Like the company being like, no evidence of that. Oh, I don't know. And then like, guys, look into that. We can't have that happening.
This isn't
and then
a trial, CJ.
instead of
It's
pursuing it like a normal person and being like, okay, it seems like I'm encountering some resistance. I'm gonna try and back up, get more sources, get into a larger group. But then the dude started being really shady with his findings and started like pushing super hard that he was being suppressed and talking everywhere about like there's this secret conspiracy about how big pharma is trying, or not big pharma, like like big GMO is trying to push this atrazine to the point where genuinely like it's just like there's
but now it seems to be pointing
there was enough discussion that enough countries were like, oh, well, we're gonna actually get some people to check up on atrazine and see if it's any good. And then the people were like, it's not turning the frogs gay, but like it's you still probably shouldn't use it. So a lot of places stopped using it, but still this one dude is on it. And that's the thing that Alex Jones was talking about. What he was and that's the thing is he also is misunderstanding it. He's going, they're putting chemicals in the water that are hurting the frogs gay. And instead of being like, yes, a company is irresponsibly like avoiding accountability, research, and testing because they're trying to skimp and save and make profit and not have to pay a bunch of researchers and throw out product that they spent time developing. Meanwhile, the dude's sitting there thinking, it's a gay bomb, baby.
If there really are aliens in Arthurton, how come you're the only person who's ever seen them?
People don't see what they aren't looking for. That's why I come here every night, to observe the unobservable. The compass is my eyes.
Is one of his eyes darker than the other?
Their presence where I don't
yeah, it looks like he got punched.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of want the compass.
We gotta take the compass.
Okay, I'll take it. I need all the help I can get.
Good. You can prove my theory to be fact.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Just remember, when the needle is steady, the phenomena are near.
Sure.
They were here before. They will return. And we'll be waiting for them.
Uh-huh.
With open arms
totally.
or with guns? I'm not really sure what your opinion is at that point.
Maybe they're just gonna ask nicely if they can have another pyramid?
Yeah.
What happened to your eye? Did you get in a fight?
Wasn't a fight. More of a misunderstanding, really.
Did the dean punch him?
Purple misunderstanding.
Well, you should see the other guy.
CJ, this is serious. You have to tell me the truth.
Did he actually get into the fight with the dean?
They needed to learn.
CJ, is this a confession?
Well, we're going to find out anyway.
CJ, did you murder Dean Strasberry?
The dean? Oh, no.
But you just said...
Good, Jenny. Suspect everyone, even me.
I don't understand.
Even you.
In fact, I suspected myself for quite some time. But I couldn't have done it.
I want to believe you, CJ, but do you have an alibi?
That's why I left these notes for you. If anyone can prove I'm innocent, it's you, Jenny LeClue.
Hang on a second. Let me take a look at that. Jenny, I need your help. You know, we could have saved a lot of time if you'd just given me this message first.
Risk being followed? Never!
But what had piqued Jenny's interest was not the message itself.
That paper. What did he write all these messages on?
Oh, neat. Am I able to? Okay, I'm able to switch. Rotate this.
Yeah, there we go.
Arthurton Times. He wrote it on a newspaper. This.
The time, no, I don't know. The date might have something to do with it.
Thursday evening edition.
I knew it! You wrote all these messages on a piece of newspaper.
Nice.
Way to fucking go. Local idiot ruins school play. Cover story continues as the only witness and prime suspect, Mrs. LeClue, is being held without bail at Arthurton City Jail. Mrs. LeClue has not given any comment and has refused legal counsel when offered. Due to the nature of the case, Sheriff Winston LeClue has distanced himself from all proceedings in order to maintain a perimeter to limit the conflict of interest and uphold the law and justice to the fullest extent possible.
The front page was missing, but even this small snippet worried Jenny.
They've been peddling lies about my mom right from the start. Sheriff Winston LeClue has distanced himself from all proceedings. Well, if he won't help her, I will.
Oh yeah.
Jenny couldn't help it. Every time she thought about coffee, she saw Keith's face. She heard his voice. She remembered his sadness. And she promised not to rest until she'd uncovered the truth of his father's death.
That's the day of the Dean's murder.
Okay. Wait, so the day of the Dean's murder, this is what comes out in the evening edition? And this is the headline. So this...
Well, this is the second headline.
Yeah. Talk about burying the lead. Holy shit. An Avocado Heights school play and parade about the founders of Arthurton was ruined by one town idiot's ramblings. A man identifies himself as CJ. Witnesses to the terribly misguided man's rant claim that after he ran onto the stage, he began yelling at a small innocent child dressed as an acorn, later identified as Sheldon, grade 3.
This photo was taken in Avocado Heights. That's on the other side of town, miles from the library.
Witnesses recall the crazed man's barking. They're lying to you. They don't know what they're talking about. The truth is up there, at the frightened child. Principal Begley, who had been watching from the sidelines, wrestled the man off the stage and away from the now crying children. The man then ran through the streets shouting, "They're trying to shut me up! They're trying to shut me up!" One parent replied, "Maybe it's time someone did." Jesus. Police arrived soon after, and although it was a bit of a struggle to catch and arrest the man, police eventually managed to book him on charges of disturbing the peace. Another parent claimed, "It was the best show I've ever seen at the school, although the bit about the aliens was a bit far-fetched."
Well, you know, with something as important as Planet X swinging around through its orbit to smoke us...
Clearly the afternoon.
Like, you know, and have the lizard people take over from inside the Hollow Earth, like, you gotta tell people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
He had already been hit.
Yeah,
CJ was always protesting something. The first time they had met, CJ had handcuffed himself to a bike rack outside Agatha Krusty's bakery.
He was convinced they were hiding something in the pies. He'd lost the
They were making cakes for gay couples. I couldn't take it.
They'd been friends ever since.
CJ couldn't have killed the Dean. All the evidence is right here.
Yeah, but who punched him? The people at the play? Probably the people at the play.
How can I prove CJ is innocent?
Well, the clock, that, and Avocado Heights. The black eye is unfortunately irrelevant.
Bazinga.
Really? Just gonna hit me with a bazinga?
CJ was photographed in Avocado Heights at 3:55 p.m. on Thursday.
Ka-chow.
2 minutes before the Dean died. There's no way CJ could have killed him.
I'd like to
CJ, you're
imagine that you go back
innocent.
in time and you see CJ
What
just
relief.
like teleport
You really
behind
shouldn't
the
be going
Dean
around
with the
town terrorizing
katana.
children. You're going to end up in jail again.
That wouldn't be so bad. They have the best beds in town.
Every part of my being is telling me that my mom is being framed.
The,
The prison pipeline.
he's snuck into people's houses to confirm that.
But I don't understand why.
There are only three
Probably how he
reasons a
knows the
man is
prison
murdered.
beds are good.
He didn't mind his own
Oh,
business.
that's almost as creepy as the one Pokemon game where you could sleep in people's beds. You literally walk into their bed,
Couldn't keep his
like
mouth
you
shut.
walk into their house, go up to their bed, and just lie down in their bed. And then it tells you
Well, he
about what the
wouldn't keep his
bed
hands to
smells
himself.
like.
Have you ever heard of a place called Widow's Drop? I think my mom met the Dean there.
Widow's drop. No, but it sounds suspicious.
Well, anything sounds suspicious if you say it like that.
Be careful, Jenny. They'll do anything to keep their secrets.
Bagel Bay!
Once you start to see
Yeah,
things,
it
there's
does
no
start to
going
sound
back.
suspicious.
Do you ever wonder why the lake glows at night? Or why the power keeps going out all over town?
I think we found out the second one.
Yes, I do. All the time.
Phytoplankton?
There's a lot more to this town if you look below the surface.
Do you mean that literally or
phytoplankton.
figuratively?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. The truth is hiding right under our feet if we only stop to look.
I'm more confused than when we started. Well, I really have to get to my house. This case won't solve itself. I can drop you off at the bridge.
No need. I'm staying here. Some of these rocks have moved. Never trust a crab with a man's job.
He's friends of the rock crabs.
As one must be.
Be careful, Jenny.
Actually.
They are everywhere. Always watching.
Don't worry about me, CJ.
Are you
They'll never
they?
see me
It seems like you're they.
Yeah.
Sneak in silence. I creep in the shadows. My footsteps are whispers.
Nice.
Damn it!
Well done.
I've got this. Don't worry.
I went the entire time without hitting a goddamn rock. Oh, this hurts my soul.
The pain. The pain and the paint.
That'll buff out.
Why? What a
Jenny
perfect
headed
metaphor
east
for our
towards the
relationship
almost
with
done
Susie.
bridge.
Yeah.
It does a favor
Walk there
for
and
us,
make my way to
and
the
we
forgotten
punch her in the
forest without anyone
face.
seeing me. Sneaky.
My treasure sense is tingling. How did I know?
I feel like walking around old buildings sometimes has like a dungeon feeling to it.
Oh yeah.
Like you're looking around and then you're like, huh, a disused hallway with a light that's burnt out. And you're like, I wonder if there's any treasure. And you go in there and there's like a broken toaster from 1976 and you're like, neat, treasure.
That's treasure, but this is like Fallout style treasure, and I don't need that.
Yeah.
It looks like blood on those rocks.
It does a little bit. New.
It just sped up a whole lot. Is there something down here? Yes, there is. Where though? Where are your secrets?
Upways?
There we go.
Oh.
I don't know how it didn't trigger before, but I guess I was just barely missing. Oh, good. We get alien pharaohs, I guess?
Yeah, that's one of them.
Yeah.
Built the pyramids.
CJ must love it. Okay, what are we looking at for the rest of this trip? Just Bear Claw Bend and we're past it?
Well, we gotta get to the... Yeah, we gotta get to the bridge.
Oh, yay. Stickers. Got an achievement for Sticker Club Enthusiast. God damn it, is there another one over here? Fuck. Thanks for not making me drive all the way over there.
Imagine the next time you see CJ, he's like, "Oh hey, you like stickers? I got a couple for you. Here, while I'm looking at you, while I can see it, put it on your journal." It's like
no. Although, if he gives us a UFO, we are definitely adding that to the... It'll be in the background.
To be honest, if somebody gave me a sticker that was like one of those edits of Obama, like half shifted into a lizard person, I would so do it. I would have such ironic power.
Oh, that would be great.
It's quite the bridge.
Yeah. Look, the scratch
The
did
night was
buff out.
still and quiet on the far side of the lake.
No one ever comes down here. Not since they stopped repairing the bridge.
Why did they stop?
And yet it was hard to shake the feeling of being
Because they bought a boat.
This is CJ's fault. He really believes all that stuff.
Once you start to see things, there's no going back.
I wonder what he meant by that.
It's the SS Susie. That's Susie's boat, right?
Oh, yeah. They specifically said that the dad bought it for Susie when she made him a sandwich one day.
Forgotten Forest Trail. Voted most likely place to be eaten by bears. Arthurton Gazette.
Nice. That was a good vote. Are we disrupting the power grid? Because we seem to be doing a lot.
Perfect. Just as I'm about to enter the spooky woods.
The good folks at Arthurton Power and Light were not easing Jenny's fear of the dark. Of course, this was the very reason curfew had been put in place.
Alright, it's dark, it's night, and we're likely to be eaten by bears. I like it.
You gotta love it. That's nice. We're definitely in a, like we're definitely an electromagnetic field.
Someone's out here.
Jimmy's imagination ran wild. In the darkness, every sound a threat, every shadow a monster. But she was nearly home, just a little further. Oh, look at that! Look at that! Gotta love glow mushrooms and freaky crows.
I think a lot of those are moths. Or moths.
Yes, that's true. Except those are mushrooms. We confirmed that earlier.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's true. That could definitely be moths.
Getting some May vibes.
And falls flat on her face. Look. Yeah, this game definitely has Night in the Woods vibes.
We are at night and in the woods.
Yes, this is true.
What happened to the bridge?
It looked like Jenny had reached a dead end. She had no choice but to return to Susie's house for a comforting mug of hot chocolate.
I'd rather plummet to my death.
Alright.
And eat.
It was a terrifying drop to the rocks below. Surely she wasn't contemplating jumping across.
Mom always says a great detective takes calculated risks. So let's do the math.
Alright, Sherlock Holmes time. 6 feet. Badly damaged struts.
The bridge is too weak for a running jump.
Strong tailwind, that'll assist us.
If you have to rely on a
Taking into account the strong
tailwind,
tailwind,
don't.
And factoring in my athletic prowess, or lack thereof, I could make that jump 2 out of 3 times. Not bad odds.
Terrible odds.
Well, here goes nothing. Uh-oh.
You gotta jump now. Well.
Okay, maybe the odds weren't so good.
And now she was dangling from a splintered plank, one slip away from certain death.
It's just like climbing a tree. Just don't look down. Don't look down.
I like that this ivy is very sturdy.
Quite helpful.
Yeah.
It's a nice safety ivy.
And we can grab it like right here. Ivy in video games is always so good. We'll go this way.
It is kind of interesting that they're like, oh yeah, surely the vines will be able to keep you up. It's like, no, it's the trellis and the divots the vines get into.
Yeah. Vines just make a good visual indicator. That's about it.
Oh good, a rusty nail.
Yay, a scrap. Fucking action hero Jenny, alright. She might have been able to jump that gap. She's got vertical jumps down pat.
She got mad hops.
Yeah. You want to calculate this one?
Was this the end for our tiny hero? As her spindly muscles began to give way, an image flashed before Jenny's eyes. Her mother, dangling from a ledge, unable to pull herself to safety. How could she possibly save her family when she couldn't even save herself?
I can't give up now. Mom needs me.
Get up there.
Jenny had barely survived. Was she really prepared for the dangers that lay ahead?
You're right.
It's too late to
I need a
turn back
gun.
now.
I need a gun. Like any good American, I need to get my gun.
Well, I'm
It
like
might
a
have been her
precocious
recent brush with
14-year-old,
death.
so I'm gonna get a
Jenny's heart
44.
was
That ought to
pounding
do
in
it.
her chest.
That's not my heart. That's... CJ's compass. The needle is shaking like crazy.
It's giving us a direction to go. How strange. Can we like... Oh. You can just straight up inspect this thing. So the compass leads us to like clues, like hidden places and stuff.
What's this? Another postcard piece. Curious. Is this what the compass was pointing to?
Jenny paused for a moment and listened. It was quiet, but distinct. A constant pulse. Mechanical, unnatural.
Man-made?
But other than the sound it emitted, this rock was like any other in the forest.
Are the rocks like crab spy cameras?
Might be a back way out.
Yeah, it could
Something.
be. It's an interesting idea. There's nothing more for me to select, so can't figure out anything further about it.
Yep.
But definitely interesting. Come on. There it is. We're gonna have, if I don't get the achievement for everything collected and I've missed it by like 1, I'm gonna be so upset.
Yeah, it's gonna be a spicy moment.
Because I'm assuming there's an achievement for it.
Oh, certainly. Especially like something like that, I imagine they'd be like, whoa, 50% of items, whoa, 75%, whoa,
Yeah.
90%. And then you wouldn't get 100.
Yeah, exactly.
It was on the railing.
I did not see a glowy on the railing the first time. We gotta get home, man. We gotta get home.
This seems like a recipe for like busting up your ankle in the dead of night.
Oh god, yeah. Oh god, yeah. Your ankle is a goner. Especially just with that like hole in the wood. One wrong move there, your foot is going through rotting wood and it's fucking busted now.
Ooh, middle of the pile.
Middle of the pile? Middle of the rock pile or
leaf pile?
There's a leaf pile? Oh, I guess there are leaf piles. It was really dark, I couldn't see.
There's something under there.
I think there's a squirrel on my roof.
on your roof?
Yeah, I heard like a scritching and I was like, that's not the... And I open, like I take the thing off of my
Jenny had spent
earbuds
her
and
whole
it's like,
childhood exploring the woods behind her
There's a
house.
couple of them. They live in the stairwell up here.
Yeah, that's fair.
Then she remembered
fine boys.
CJ's words.
People don't see things they aren't looking for.
She knocked on the rusty metal.
Hollow. It's a trapdoor.
Did you think it wouldn't be hollow?
You know, it's
Why would...
it's a prop for the school play.
What a strange device. The wires are connected to the door.
What a strange device that we totally have never seen before.
What's the... Okay, so outer and then inner, I think.
Yeah. We were supposed to be going home.
Do you imagine you open this trapdoor, you go down the ladder,
Stale
you turn on the
odor
light,
filled the air as Jenny
and you're like,
It sure is dark down there.
whose place is this? You open a door,
What?
and then there's
I can't
like
just leave this
a
unexplored.
Confederate flag. You're
I
like,
have to see where it leads.
CJ, got
and
it.
so Jenny descended blindly into the unknown.
Wait, can I just like... After all that, just get up and walk away.
That's a hedral.
That is definitely a hedral. Roll that D100. Oh good. We're dead.
That didn't sound good.
This is Susie's second laugh.
In all her short life, Jenny LeClue had never found herself in such a peculiar place. The town that once seemed a small, lifeless pond was suddenly an ocean of mysterious possibilities. Equal parts terrifying and intriguing, it was...
Incredible!
Yes, an incredible mystery in her very own backyard.
You start looking through files on the ground. You're like, Project Mark Ultra? That doesn't seem like anything important.
So Will, how you feeling?
I feel like this is a good inflection point, a nice little stopping point.
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Why is there so many tabs of LSD in here? Guess we'll never know.
Alright, so thank you everyone for watching. The mystery deepens, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're gonna be back. I'm gonna be streaming on Monday. Gonna be doing some more Mass Effect. Getting close to the end of Mass Effect 1. So I'm excited for that.
Ooh.
Yeah, we got Bloodline on Wednesday, where Will is coming up with more shenanigans for us to do.
Yeah, still figuring out the angle, but I think I got a good idea what's coming up.
Yep. And then more streams throughout the week, because I'm just really bored, and so I'm streaming a lot.
You're just having a massive act right now.
Yeah.
Just a massive one.
Yeah. So thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.